Hey everybody. This one's really spur of the moment. I just ran out of the room to go grab my camera. The crayfish on the left that's just crawling out from behind or underneath of that piece of wood as I've been feeding the tank. When I ran out of the room, all you could see was one claw sticking up. It looked like some kind of monster movie with the claw sticking up from the deep. And the other crayfish you can see on the right was much closer, and it almost looked like the claw was sort of reaching up to grab the other crayfish. It was really funny looking. And I expected something a little more dramatic than that. I expected to see the piece of wood get lifted up and out of the way, and this monster to rise from the grave, so to speak. And that was a little anticlimactic. Still pretty interesting stuff, so I'll keep it as a nice short little video. I could shoot videos like this of my crayfish all the time. They're absolutely fantastic little animals. In fact, let me put you on pause and I'll squirt a little more food in the tank and we'll get to see this one picking around at the food for a moment. So hang on half a second here. Alright, that is mostly, I want to say mysis shrimp. It's either mysis shrimp or brine shrimp. And I've got a little bit of bloodworms mixed in. It's 1 cube of each. I actually went to the PetSmart today. It's the second time now that I've been to this PetSmart in the last 9 months or whatever it's been. And like the last time I went, I was going to try to get some fish or look at the fish or something, but nobody came to wait on me. And after standing around for 10 minutes or so, I just said, that's enough for that. I'm getting out of here. I'm not a big fan of going out in public or hanging out in stores to begin with. And since I was in there getting food, of course I got to go to the store to buy the frozen food. I stock up as much as I can, but I do have to go there occasionally. And so when I'm there, I was looking around and I actually saw some fish today that I wanted to buy. If I had gotten a hold of anybody, I would have picked them up. So that's now twice that I have been to the PetSmart and stood there and stood there and stood there and finally got tired of more and more people standing around near me, and more people start piling up around me, and so I finally just leave. And so today again I left empty-handed. So there you go, just a little quickie of my crayfish. Just shot one last night of the crayfish climbing up in the tree. Don't know if I've even posted that one yet or not, but as I said, I can just post cool videos like this of the crayfish all the time. That one's already made his way back around and is coming across the front of the tank again. So let's see if we don't get a confrontation, and we got my sculpin right smack in the middle, so this ought to be interesting. Let's see what happens as they finally get closer and closer together. Usually when they get within antenna's reach of each other, they will become aware of each other's presence and stop, and usually they just don't want any trouble and they'll stop and go back in the opposite directions. In fact, in this case, both of them seem to have found enough food that it doesn't really matter. They're not in any hurry to get anywhere. They're just rooting around on the bottom. They're getting there. They're inching their way closer and closer. They're definitely within feeler's reach of each other. It's just I don't think their antennae have actually contacted. Now they have. Now they're aware of each other. They must really, really be enjoying that food. I cannot believe how close together these things are without somebody fighting somebody. At some point we're going to see one of those get out of there very quickly. Some claws are going to go up or a tail's going to flick or something. I cannot believe these two are face to face while they sit there munching away. Apparently they're going to. There we go. Now we got some claws being grabbed. Now this is really interesting. They've got a hold of each other's claws, but they're still sort of working their way along and using their under pincers, you know, their little walking legs to feed. So it's almost like a truce. They kind of realize if I've got your claws and you've got my claws, neither one of us can grab the other one. But it now seems like they're trying to get the upper hand of who's got a hold of whose claws. I'm telling you, crayfish are just the best little animals to have in your fish tank. See, I knew somebody was going to have to be getting out of here in a hurry soon. I know that's a lot of food, but these are not underfed crayfish. It's not like they're starving and they got to put themselves at any kind of great risk to get more food. But that mysis shrimp and those bloodworms must be some good stuff for them to tolerate each other like this. And this is tolerance for crayfish. Crayfish are not friendly little animals that get along. They tear each other apart and kill each other and eat each other. So this is two crayfish getting along, as by crayfish standards. That was pretty fascinating to watch. And I think that's about enough of that. They're gonna call it good there. Everybody got enough to eat and is satisfied. So all right, everybody, there you go. That was some total drama crayfish if I've ever seen it. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you are subscribed, and don't forget this one here is my 40-gallon native tank. Thanks again. I'll see you real soon.